Ever since the introduction of Apex Legends, there has been a hidden rivalry between Bloodhound and Pathfinder, but as more content is pushed out in Season 3, we're starting to see more details of why. In fact, there's enough detail now to put together a very good theory about Bloodhound's past, their previous life, and the reason why Bloodhound hates Pathfinder so much today. Let's start from the beginning of Apex Legends, and then let's take a look at some theories why Bloodhound may hate Pathfinder. Right from the very beginning, the rivalry wasn't so clear, but now we can see it in plain sight. In the very first reveal trailer for Apex Legends, Pathfinder gets a clear hit on Bloodhound.
This is my favorite part. Exciting.
Nothing much is thought of it, but then in the Season 3 launch trailer, it's made more clear. Bloodhound returns fire. Bloodhound says, "For Arta," before shooting down Pathfinder. For those unaware, Arta is the name of Bloodhound's bird.
For Arthur.
In the Season 3 Battle Pass, Pathfinder's new skydive emote shows Pathfinder getting attacked by Arta. This isn't the first time this has happened. The Pathfinder banner pose for the birds has shown Arta's clear dislike for Pathfinder from the very beginning of Apex Legends. These subtle additions to the game suggest that Arta has a strong dislike for Pathfinder, and for whatever reason, Bloodhound is seeking revenge. It's almost like Pathfinder has done something to Arta. Whatever Pathfinder did to Arta, it's clearly left a long-lasting effect on Bloodhound and their bird. Meanwhile, Pathfinder seems to be blissfully unaware of what's going on around him. I'm not even sure if Pathfinder understands what he has done wrong, or maybe he's just forgotten completely. I mean, it makes sense, he's happy to pump lead into other people and then call him his friends as they lay on the ground dead. So I have a theory surrounding Bloodhound and Pathfinder's rivalry, and I feel like we may get to see it play out in the future one day. If my theory is entirely correct, we may actually be able to see it play out during the new World's Edge map. What's exciting is that it will not just show Bloodhound's origin story, but Pathfinder's origin story too. So to explain my theory, we need to look closer at Bloodhound's relationship with Arta. Thankfully, there's plenty of great lore buried in the loading screen art. So let me bring your attention to the loading screen named A New Dawn. Dearest Brigadier, we landed on Talos, and despite the horror stories my brother told about volcanoes, it's beautiful here. The coolant system helps you forget there's molten lava outside your front door, and outside my office are these amazing geysers. I can't wait for you to see them in person, you or our young one. This is a new beginning for us, Brigadier. I promise. Love, Johan. So, let me paint a picture here. I believe Johan is Bloodhound before making the transition to the Bloodhound we know today. Now, Bloodhound flew to World's Edge, perhaps for business. This makes sense. Whilst there is little known about Bloodhound's past, they are apparently fabulously wealthy. Also, the final paragraph is very interesting. P.S. The rumors are true. My brother has given up electricity. I know, but it's only for a few weeks until the house is ready, and I want to respect Arta's wishes. I love you, and I can't wait to start our life together. Now, I'm not sure entirely, and I think this is where the theory kind of needs more evidence, but I want to suggest that Arta here isn't a bird. It's in fact the name of Bloodhound's brother. And World's Edge is later revealed in the loading screen named World's Edge Meltdown to once have been a hotbed of IMC activity. A rare mineral compound was discovered beneath its surface, so I believe Bloodhound and their brother were drawn to Talos to make untold wealth. But then later in that same loading screen, it says that decades ago, an explosion in one of the towers covered the surrounding area in a lethal flash freeze. Today, World's Edge is deserted, its borders inhabited by a small community of hunters who reportedly spurn modern technology. So, at this point in time, Bloodhound and their brother Arta are in World's Edge. A flash freeze happens that causes casualties. I feel like this could mean that Bloodhound's brother dies, and of course, Bloodhound would be devastated. Bloodhound, then lost and confused, retreats to a nearby community that hates technology. We're not sure why Arta didn't like electricity to begin with, but perhaps Bloodhound found respite in the neighboring community because Arta shared a similar hatred for technology. The hunters teach Bloodhound the ways of their tribe, and Bloodhound adopts their ways. Perhaps in some kind of ritual, they transfer Bloodhound's brother's spirit into a crow, which later becomes Arta we know today. So it's not just named after Arta, but it is Arta. That may explain why Arta hates Pathfinder so much. But wait, why does Arta hate Pathfinder so much? Well, there are two possible explanations. One is simple. Arta seemed to hate technology before the flash freeze, and Pathfinder is a robot, so it could just be a universal hate for all technology. But I think it goes further than that. Pathfinder is a Marvin unit, originally designed to be used as assistants and worker units. My theory suggests that Pathfinder was built on World's Edge to create the towers to extract the valuable resources. The flash freeze happens because Pathfinder made some kind of mistake, or maybe not Pathfinder, but a similar Marvin unit. In a way, it could be Pathfinder's fault that ultimately killed Arta, and that may be why Bloodhound says for Arta in the season trailer. So for those that kind of fell asleep, here's a timeline. Bloodhound and their brother travel to Talos, World's Edge. A flash freeze happens, causing a lethal accident. In some way, Pathfinder may be responsible for the accident. Bloodhound's brother dies, and Bloodhound is heartbroken. Bloodhound retreats to a nearby community that borders World's Edge. The hunters there teach Bloodhound the ways of their tribe, and Bloodhound adopts their ways. Arta's spirit is transferred to a crow. Bloodhound now hates Pathfinder. So personally, I think that's a strong theory for Bloodhound's origin story, but it also paints a picture for Pathfinder's origin story too. Firstly, IMC definitely used Marvin units on World's Edge. This was a huge operation that was developed to extract valuable resources from World's Edge. Marvin units were used, and there's still signs of their involvement spread throughout the map today. So essentially, Pathfinder was created to help with the IMC operation on World's Edge, and his creator may not really be that special, but why was Pathfinder kitted with a grapple and a zipline? This is what a normal Marvin unit looks like, and here is Pathfinder. I don't think Pathfinder was the only one of his kind. Some more exploring of World's Edge can reveal that a company called ZipTech clearly had some involvement in the IMC operation too. Remember, Talos had previously been uninhabitable. There are huge mountains, lava and volcanoes. On top of that, heat-reducing towers were built to supercool the lava on World's Edge. So ZipTech were hired by IMC to upgrade Marvin units with ziplines and grapples so that they could traverse the terrain easier and climb the towers. I don't think it's any surprise that there are towers in World's Edge that nobody can reach besides Pathfinder. So there we have it, a good theory based on both Bloodhound's and Pathfinder's backstory, based on lore hidden in World's Edge and the new Season 3 content. I feel like we'll be seeing this origin story play out very soon, so I'm very excited to see what comes next in terms of world building, just like the Voidwalker event. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. This took a lot of preparation and research, but I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any of your own opinions on this theory, share them below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. I think there are so many hidden opportunities for storytelling in Apex Legends, and I think that actually a lot of the storytelling has already been done behind the scenes, and we're kind of just waiting for it to be pushed out into future content updates. I have many theories for a lot of the characters. For example, have some interesting ideas about why Crypto and Mirage may be kind of building this friendship. I feel like there's a potential backstory behind how Watson may be able to get Caustic to feel a little bit more human instead of being so sociopathic. There's even some interesting story behind Bangalore. She may seem like the most serious, boring character out there, but there is still heart, and behind all of that military training, there's proof in the game and in the lore that Bangalore just wants to be human too. And what about Gibraltar? He was introduced as this good guy, this big caring person, but I feel like as the seasons have gone past, Gibraltar's slowly turning into this maniacal murderer. So there's a lot of interesting stories to be had in this world, and if you want to know any more theories, leave a comment below on the character you'd like to see a theory on next. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. I also want to say that there is 1 day left in my Shadowfall challenge. The top 10 players with the most kills as shadows in the current Fight or Fright event will be rewarded with prizes. If you want to learn more about that, I put a link in the description. Currently the top score is 16 kills, which is insane. I was hoping that maybe we'd see some more people staying in the game mode, but people are still quitting, so it was a bit of a failure. Out of all of the events that have happened so far, it's my least favorite, but I'm really looking forward to yours next week, so that's always good. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!